Like that Mike Tomlin guy.
Oh, yeah.
What's your next topic?
All right.
You said you're another bounce back guy?
Yeah, another bounce back.
Okay.
We're staying in the same position. We're going wide receiver.
I like staying.
I'm going DJ Moore. Okay, we saw him with Justin Fields 2 years ago. Put up 1,300 yards, finished in the top 8.
How do you have your best year ever with Justin Fields throwing the ball? That's crazy.
It's insane, right? Like, we finally saw the breakout that everybody's been hoping for, kind of like with Chris Olave. You know, it's like, finally, the system fits and everything. And then it was a real rough year. You could tell from watching the games, he wasn't that into it. Like, there was him walking off the field at certain points in the middle of plays. And a lot of that is Caleb, right? Caleb, his pressure to sack ratio is the worst in the league. Like, he holds the ball way too long. Way too long. And I think that Ben Johnson is going to fix that, okay? It's going to be, listen.
Thank you.
If that timer's going to go off at 3 seconds, if the ball's in your hands, I'm not playing you. I think Ben Johnson's going to be that serious.
I hope so. He needs to be.
Ryan Poles, the Bears GM today, and this is probably more of an indictment against his previous hires than it is like a plus for Ben Johnson. He said, the football IQ that Ben Johnson has demonstrated in the short time he's been here blows anybody else out of the water that we've had in this building before. And obviously, people think Ben Johnson has a great mind for football, but even if he's an above average mind, he has a better mind than Shane Waldron does for football.
Yeah. You could have the best offensive mind as the coach. It's the guy that's you can only have if your IQ's way up here and the guy that's playing is down here.
Right.
Like
I agree with
that. I see what you're saying.
I'm a big Caleb guy, and I'm a big believer. I just think the offense will improve. Maybe not greatly, but I think we even talked about it a few weeks back. Like, I think they're going to be a fringe top 10, top 12 offense, an above average offense for sure. And my favorite part is Keenan Allen's just getting another year older, another year worse at football, and not even sure if he's going to be on the roster. It's, in my opinion, it's DJ Moore and Rolo Odunze as the only two real receiving threats. Like, Cole Kmet's fine. Yeah. He's a tight end. He's a safety blanket, and he's flashed a little bit. But Caleb doesn't throw to the running back. That's like something that he just didn't do this year much, unless it was a screen. And DeAndre Swift's a capable receiver, in my opinion.
Yeah. You got to think with Ben Johnson coming that he's going to be drawing up those kind of plays.
Yeah, he's got to be drawing all kinds of stuff up, and I think that's the nice part is I could see DJ Moore used in the Jameson Williams role. And obviously he's not that fast, but I think he's a way better football player.
I would have thinking he would have been more like Damon Raw to me. And because when you mentioned Keenan Allen, I was thinking DJ Moore and Keenan Allen sort of canceled each other out a little bit.
Right.
And Odunze would be more of the that's the way I would think it would go. Because isn't Odunze more of a deep threat? Like, I think he's probably a better deep threat.
He's definitely a sideline receiver, like kind of like George Pickens, in my opinion. I actually think that Odunze is a better player than George Pickens right now.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm taking Odunze over Pickens right this second just as an NFL wide receiver. Yeah. And I do think that he is the future in Chicago, in my opinion. But right now matters, too. And it's not like DJ Moore's old, and he's under contract. He's being paid. They don't have an out for the next 2 years. He's just somebody that I think we've seen a higher ceiling for than what we just saw.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of reasons for me to think it gets better. And not many ways it can get worse. Like, in my opinion, I don't see a way DJ Moore doesn't crack 1,000 yards this year. He didn't last year. As long as he's healthy, I think he's going to fly by 1,000 yards.
I think he did bad because you traded him to me.
Yeah. I'd like to do that trade back. You want to reverse it back?
No.
You can have Marv, and I'll take a Baker and the other first I gave you, and whatever else I gave you.
I don't want Caleb Williams.
Sure? The problem I have is I think just the one down year for DJ Moore it was nothing to me. You know what I mean? I think it's just like rookie kind of thing. Like, you're just getting back into you need to get into a groove or whatever and just figure your stuff out. So
yeah, and that's where I'm at. Like, I totally agree with that. Yeah. Where for me, I didn't see it as much of an indictment on him as a player or a fall off or anything. But the way the community has reacted,
I bet
it's he's not a top 30 wide receiver in Dynasty right now.
Yeah,
and if you're getting down to that point, like, I'm willing to trade for guys who I'm pretty sure are going to finish in the top 20 if they're down at wide receiver 30 some prices. Like, if I'm trying to win, that's what you should do. and this is a totally different topic. Spoiler alert, because we're going to talk about this at some point. I think the best strategy in Dynasty right now is buying wide receivers at 28 and 29 years old. Like alpha wide receivers who are awesome. Like A.J. Brown right now, he's wide receiver 15 on Keep Trade Cut. And he's 27 years old. What happens where A.J. Brown is no longer a top 10 wide receiver in the NFL?
He got injured and then had a few bad games where he wasn't targeted a lot.
Yeah, he had like 3 games at the end of the year where they were trying to give Saquon Barkley a shot at breaking the rushing record.
Yeah.
And then they get in the playoffs, and you see A.J. Brown go off for 150 yards and 8 catches and a touchdown in the Super Bowl, and it's like, oh yeah,
wait,
A.J. Brown like is really good at football.
Yeah.
It seems really obvious to me that you get a discount because they're a little bit older.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know,
they still perform for a good 4 years.
Yeah, like the actual elite guys, you're going to get 3 to 4 more years out of.
Yeah.
And I'm not playing on a timeline longer than that really anyways. You know, it's after 2 to 3 years, I'm looking at kind of shifting guys out anyways because of things like that. You know, that's the mindset people have in Dynasty is like, I've had this guy for 3 or 4 years. I should probably shake things up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You got to take advantage of that stuff.
Trade this guy. He's in his prime. I'm going to trade him now.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, he's peaking right now? Gone.
Yeah.
But it's like, what?
Nobody wants to win.
He peaks, and then his value goes down, and you trade him. And it doesn't make any sense to me. But
Klopper was on that, though. He said after the first year Justin Jefferson had that really good year, he was like, well, he's not going to get any better, so you should trade him.
I think that probably these guys are worth more. If you can get some of the trades that you see for these guys, to me, are pretty crazy.
Oh,
and I will side with trading Justin Jefferson. But I think a lot of those are not realistic, and they just happen sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, every league market's kind of different. And in my opinion, the more casual the league is, the more of those trades you see where it's like, man, I don't care about 4 first-round picks. Just give me Justin Jefferson. He's the best player in the league. Like,
because we had a topic about this where we were – what is Justin Jefferson worth? What is Chase Young or Jamar Chase worth? Yeah, and I think I was on the side of trading these guys
for sure.
You were on the side of like trading Justin Jefferson for like Amon-Ra. Not straight up, but like
it was like Amon-Ra in a first, or Justin Jefferson. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, maybe.
And I don't think you could say I was wrong.
No, I don't think
I can definitely say that.
You wouldn't trade Jefferson for Amon-Ra in a first?
With the evidence that's been going on the last...
You can take that evidence and shove it...
You don't think a first-round pick makes up the difference between, like, the 2nd overall finish and the 4th overall finish?
Was he the 4th overall finish?
Probably not this year. I don't think either of them were 2 and 4.
Of course, this was back...
I think Justin Jefferson was 2 this year.
Was it? He might have been, actually.
He was high. 8.
I'm willing to bet Amon-Ra was top 8.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not trading Justin Jefferson. So, he's, you know how like certain people are, you know, Calvin Johnson was lying for their whole career. Yep. Justin Jefferson is a Saquon these nuts or whatever.
See, and this is what I meant earlier when I said, like, your buy low isn't a low price. It's he's available because sometimes they're just not available. Like you're gonna come talk to me about Jaden Daniels. We're not talking. Like, I won't have the conversation. You know? So it's just how it is.
We'll talk about it and be like, yeah, you should try that in another league.
It's like, dude, you're right. You should buy him because he's awesome. But I'm keeping him because he's awesome.